So today we're looking at strategies to land a Web3 job. What are those things that work today that will help you to get your Web3 job? So we've looked at skills, we looked at positioning yourself online, which people are actively doing. For those of you that have access to the website, I want to believe you're actively taking the courses on the website. Vivian, Bola, right? So we're looking at now how to use those skills you have to get a job. Step-by-step framework for job applications. So the first thing we're going to look at is be professional. Now, Nigerians have two kinds of people. Those that are very good at what they do, or those that know how to be professional, and then those that are very entitled or have excuses for what they do. So you definitely want to be on the side of those that are professional, open to learning, and willing to grow. Because there's a way that other continents you look at, though that perception is changing, but somehow sometimes it's still there, right? Sometimes the fact that you are from Africa might be the reason you might not get a job. But like, I don't always like to dwell on that because we have many more people that are getting jobs than those from Africa than those who are not. Uh, if you look at Solana, for example, I mean, look at me. I'm from Nigeria, right? And I've had to work with Indians. I've had to work with UK. I've had to work with OKEX as Asia. I've had to work with what are their names? Even where are these people from Seth? So I've had to work with people from different parts of the world. So now, so the fact that you're from Africa and maybe you might encounter one or two like, oh, you are from here and then that rejection, it shouldn't stop you because we have many more people. Look at Solana now. Solana is filled with so many Nigerians who are doing so well. Look at Base. Look at Sue ecosystem. They have so many Nigerians, so many Africans from Ghana, Kenya. Nigeria is leading when it comes to Africans dominating Web3 space. Nigeria is leading, but then we have other countries that are coming up as well. So you have to learn to be professional and ensure that your application is always like, if you're going to have to write anything, if you're writing in a DM, in someone's DM, if you're writing on X, if you're writing, make sure that it always communicates professionalism. You get, or communicate your authentic self. Always go through it to make sure that there are no errors, right? There are no errors, and always confirm that the links are working. If anybody ever asks you to if they ask you to submit a resume or submit your portfolio, make sure confirm the link are working, because the person might not get back to you to tell you that, oh, you do not, because if you're using a Google Drive link or Google Documents and then you send the link and forgot to make it viewable by everybody, and you left it private, automatically you are seen as unprofessional. They move on to the next person. Trust me, there are so many fishes in the water. I know you wouldn't want to lose an opportunity to get the job. Now, every time you have to write, if you are needed to write a code DM, a DM, or a resume or a cover letter or anything. Now, these things are no longer the ticket. Like, how would I put it? It should no longer depend on your CV to get a job, because I've seen there was a job application where the guy said, I don't want to see your resume. I just want you to tell me how you would do this if you are in this position, right? But they now want to know how you think, critical thinking, analytical thinking, your understanding of the role. So if you're ever have to write a cover letter, a resume, or a DM, or anything that will show who you are, make sure that it's tailored. It's tailored to that role, to the job, to that particular project. Like I always say, two projects might be in the same category, but may have separate problems. For example, we have Discord, we have Telegram. Both of them are community building tools. We have WhatsApp, but are they exactly the same thing? No. Do they have the same problems? No. Do they have the same benefits? No. Telegram has its own unique benefits. WhatsApp has its own unique benefits. Discord has its own unique benefits. So if they were going to hire people for the same role, their expectations of that role will be different. So always make sure that everything you write is tailored, like it's tailored to the role. Never do anything generic. That's why we start your code DM, because we're going to do a 30 days run, whereby I think maybe we'll start it next week. You guys should remind me, where every single day you are going to do something, reach out to a project. But now, since everybody here at an entry level, all of you here at entry level, like you are new to the system, so you're going to be reaching out in the terms of I'm going to call it we're going to call it job clinic. Something a job clinic where you write a code DM, you reach out, we'll practically do it together. We'll come on live like this, and all of us that within that 1 hour, all of you will reach out to at least 5 projects. I'll be here watching what you type. You type it, you show me what you type, you send it in, and then we'll see how that rolls out. So it's going to be called a job clinic. So I hope you guys are expectant and excited. So the point is for you to practically do this. So let me not just leave it to you guys to go and do it on your own. We'll just come on live and everybody will sit down. You will identify your strengths and all of that. You do your reach out, at least 5 projects. We all can do 5 projects within 1 hour and review everything. And then maybe the following week, we can now explore, okay, we are there responsive. Then within the week, you can do other things that will increase your visibility and credibility. So your whatever you write must always highlight a specific problem you are solving for that project. Never say I'm a content writer and so how does a content writer help me? Instead, you should always look out for, if you're a writer, are there content gaps that project you want to reach out to have? Like you've looked at their medium, you've looked at their X handle, maybe they just raised money and they don't have a lot of content, varieties of content. Maybe they're not exploring all content formats. For example, they're not exploring threads, they're not exploring video content, they're not exploring different kind of content format that would have images, memes, and all of those things. They're not exploring them. You can be like, I want to help you bridge your content gaps, because content is a way for you to onboard more people, educate people about what you do, and increase this thing. So you should always look at, it's not about you. You have a skill. It's always about the other person. It's always about the other party. It's always about your potential employer. So remember, whatever you're writing, whether it's resume, whether it's cover letter, whether it's DM, you must always highlight the problem your skill can solve, the problem you've identified. That is why you should never be in a rush to send it here. I made this mistake once. There was a time I had an opportunity for an interview, but because I was so caught up with my other job, I had a job, so I was so busy, I forgot to research the project. So during the interview, he asked me if I had researched their project. I said no. I already knew in my head I wasn't going to get that job. I already knew in my head, because it was a sign of unseriousness for me to not have gone to check out the project before the interview. So because you must always tell everything, including your interview, to that project. They want to see that you are what they need. So that is why you need to be bold. You need to be ready to accept rejections, because you might have 1 or 2 rejections. It doesn't change the fact that you are good enough. Because sometimes they might have like 5 people and all of you are good and they have to choose only 1 person. So sometimes rejection doesn't mean that you did something bad as well. It means that they chose somebody else. It's as simple as that. Simply chose somebody else. So I've already mentioned your portfolio. Make sure your portfolio is accessible. Like, where can I put you to see what you've done before? Which is why I like what you are doing. You people are doing. Like, I'm making you guys to do those tasks. At least when somebody goes to Bright Handle on X, they'll be able to see the content he has done before. Where can I see what you have done? If you say you're a writer, where can I see what you have written in the past to show that? Because remember, everything you do is to get a result. Every action you take with your skill is so targeted towards a particular result. So always have result at the back of your mind. This thing I'm doing now, what is the goal? As a project manager, Priscilla, as a project manager now, what is the end goal? What is the result of this thing that you want to do? You say, okay, we're doing Scrum, we're doing Agile. Okay, what is the end goal? Is supposed to achieve for this place? Because beyond the theory, beyond the things that we say this thing can do, at the end of the day, what did we achieve? So now, always apply intentionally, which is why we're doing a job clinic. Like I said, you guys should remind me. We're doing that job clinic. So don't just throw application here and there. Even in this my entire job hunting life, I don't think I've applied up to 100 jobs. I don't think I've applied up to 50 jobs, 50 jobs, right? Because it's not even about number of times. Sometimes it's not even, of course, numbers can work in your favor. Like if you can increase your chances of being chosen when you increase your number, but then apply intentionally. Like don't just throw that. There was a job I saw in a community recently, and I wanted to apply to the job, but I looked at it, and I remember I learned something that gone are those days where you want to fake it till you make it, or you want to muscle your way through. No, I looked at it. I have part of the skills, not most of the skills you were looking for. They were looking for an event person. I'm not really an event person per se. I'm more of a narrative, a product and group marketing person, not an event marketing person. So I just didn't go for it. It's as simple as that. So just know that sometimes you might, if you see an opportunity, you mustn't go after it. Look at it. It's something that you are up to. Like 80% of it, like you are qualified, and then maybe the other 20%, you can now figure it out, on the job. Which is why while you are working towards getting an opportunity, you are also bridging the gap. Which is why I told you guys to create that roadmap. I don't know how many people don't go show me your roadmap, right? Yeah, Bolaji. Who else? I don't show me roadmap. Someone show me your roadmap, Ada. You know what I told you guys to do? Show me your roadmap. Actually, you should use that roadmap. You should already know what gaps you have by now, the gaps you have in your skill, and begin to fill them up. You can you can have questions and begin to ask questions. Okay, they say the writer that works with space should be able to know this, know that, know this. Where can I learn it? Do you understand? And if by adventure I bring someone to teach us, which I'm working towards to do, that's an opportunity to ask the person questions based on those gaps that you figured out that you don't like, things in your skill you don't have yet. We have an opportunity, somebody comes in on live to do those things. You expect to give opportunity to questions. Ask those people questions to help you bridge those gaps. Because remember, nobody gives you a job because of you. They give you a job because they need you. Of course, there's a place of favor, there's a place of miracle. But then somebody said something one day that then look at the Bible. If you look at the Bible, for example, look at the Bible. The people that were used in the Bible to pass down the books of the Bible over the years, they were learned people. If you look at Moses and Aaron, Moses is educated because he was raised by who? He was raised by the Egyptians. So he was educated. Look at the books he wrote in the Bible. You look at Apostle Paul. He wrote most of the books in the New Testament because he was the educated one. Peter wrote a few books, right, and others. So if you look at those people that are very, so competence is very important. Because even if you want to look like, realize that people that you have to have competence. Competence is very important. Wish does not get you anywhere. Hope will sustain you. But hoping without putting an active work is not going to get you anywhere. So you should always focus on getting better. We're not talking about perfection. Like I've been doing this workout series. And the guy, the fitness coach, he always says it's all about progression and not perfection, which is the truth. What you do consistently is more important than trying to get it perfect. So me, I'm more focused on what are you doing to bridge any skill gap you have or any knowledge gap you have, right? What are you doing about it? Like today now, I've been on a course. I'm going to do an MBA, and throughout this week, from Monday to Friday, I also have another business series I'm doing from Google. Google is doing some a business series for African business owners, and it's been 5 hours daily. We did 5 hours yesterday, 5 hours today, and it's been value packed. So what are you doing to bridge the gap? Because me, I'm like, I can't be doing guesswork through life. You waste a lot of time doing that, right? But you save yourself a lot of time when you figure out these are the gaps that I have, and you begin to breach them. So I felt like that was like a bit of a sermon, but I hope you got that. So now, when writing about what you can do, make sure they are measurable. Make sure they're measurable. That is, you can say, okay, look, like for myself now, I'm not on my X. I would have shown you guys something. I'll show you guys something. Maybe if you go to my LinkedIn account, if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see I made a post today about my 3 months analytics on X. I've been posting consistently on X. Of course, I missed some days, but I've been posting on X and the analytics. I posted the numbers, the screenshots on LinkedIn. So if you go there, you're going to see. Maybe I'll post it on my. I don't know. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to present it on X. But if you go on LinkedIn, you see the analytics. So like, if I want to tell somebody now that I can create content that will get you this amount of impressions, I've done it before with my account. So though I'm able to access my analytics on X because I'm using a premium account. Like I said, for me, it's an investment. So what am I? What I'm trying to say is that whatever it is that you're building your skill, always look at the analytics. For example, Bright, since you've been writing, how many impressions have you had? I think you can see impressions without going to the analytics if you're not using the paid account, if you're using premium. At least you pay a way to see impressions. How many impressions do you have? Have you been doing the reply guiding? How many accounts have you been commenting on that? Because I don't know if you've been commenting. Because that's another way to increase your impressions, the amount of people that will see your post. Then, how many of those things you're doing? How many people have you been modeling? Not copying, but modeling. Look at what they are doing and what they're doing well. What can you pick? One or two things you can pick and learn for what they are doing. So always let it be measurable. You can say you increase impressions by 20%. That means because if you look at that analytics, you see that there's a huge gap between June and July, because in June I wasn't very consistent, but by July I became more consistent on X, and my numbers doubled, if not tripled. It tripled. It tripled in July, and then it came down a bit in August, and I know why. And then I looked at my analytics as well, and I found out, okay, the posts that did really well were posts that were specific about Solana projects in Nigeria, which is why I said if you want community support, choose one ecosystem and focus there. If you choose one ecosystem, focus there, it's easier for you to get support from the people in that ecosystem. Like, for example, now Solana. I don't know if I've explained this ecosystem thing before. Blockchain. I think I've tried to explain to Priscilla, the whole blockchain thing, the community around it, and all of those stuff. So, always have measurable. Talk about what you know how to do in numbers. I can help you do this. I can help you do that to achieve this. Not just the theory, but in numbers. It gives the person an insight into what you can do. Now, always research the project, like I said before, always. Explore the project platform, read their latest blog posts. They have a roadmap, a white paper. What's the white paper? A white paper is a technical documentation of a project. Now, before somebody launches a project, they've already written down their vision about that project, what they are planning to achieve with that project. That, in technical terms, that is a white paper. That's what the white paper is. So when you read the white paper, it's of course these days most projects don't bother about a white paper anymore, but they do documents where they put down the sort of roadmap, a very detailed roadmap to where they're going to, and they update consistently. Then note down the things you can do differently for that project. If you were employed in that project, what would you have done differently? Note it down. That is your weapon for application. Then, if you ever have an opportunity for interview, be curious, right? You should have questions that you need to ask those people when you are when you have opportunity to jump on an interview. There was a lady that recently she had to apply for a role, and they told her they needed something that was more experienced. I was expecting that because she was new, she's new to all this marketing stuff, and she was going to that for that particular role, for a manager role. I think they were looking out for someone that's more experienced, and I was expecting the response they gave her, which is why I keep saying go for entry level roles that you can easily. You might not have 2 years experience, but if you build enough proof of work, you can go for. If you say I look for someone that has 1 to 2 years experience, you'll be able to say that even though you don't have up to 2 years experience, but I can achieve this result based on my proof of work. So now, what is the content strategy that can make you stand out? First of all, identify your zone of genius. What exactly are you like? What are you naturally skilled at? This is one of the things I tell people to check out. Like, what are those things that make you? There's something. If you're a project manager, if they place project manager side by side, just what makes you different from the other person. What is that extra you bring to the table? That means you should always look at yourself and find out if I'm a writer, what is that extra thing I can bring to the table? Maybe I'll add to the fact that I'm very good with generative AI. I know how to use generative AI to create. I think you have a proof to show it. I know how to make generative AI like ChatGPT to give me very unique responses that are not common. I have prompts, you have powerful prompts. Don't be shy of all those things. Or you know how to use AI tools to create avatar videos, talking heads, and all those things. What are those things you bring to the table? You're very good with Canva. Are you very good with Canva, using Canva to come up with designs, come up with memes and all infographics? Are you very good with all those things? What are all those extra things you bring to the table alongside your writing, or even in your writing? What are those other formats? So what is your zone of genius? Then who is your ideal customer? In this sense now, who is your ideal employer? Like for me now, I would rather work with a consumer crypto, like consumer products, because I like to work. I'm not really a fan of B2B, but if a B2B person hires me, fine and good. It doesn't mean I won't go for a B2B project, but I would rather go with a B2C. That's specifically a consumer product. That is a product that has to deals with consumers directly. It can be a wallet, it can be an exchange, it can be stable coins, it can be anything that solves the user's problem directly. That is kind of product I want to go for. So you must identify everybody's not an employer. Trust me, some people are very, very technical. You might not want to be in a technical space, like a place where yeah, like some blockchains are very technical. We have AI blockchains, we have AI agent blockchains, all that stuff. There's some this thing are very like I said, oh, this is not for me because I already know where I want to go to. I would like to work with a blockchain that builds mostly consumer products. For example, Solana. Solana, for example, we can also look at Base that build products that people solve problems that people have today. It doesn't mean that other blockchains are not good, but it means that they are too technical for me, and I don't want that. So you must identify uh, who your ideal employer is, like which ecosystem do you want to work with. That means you need to get familiar with all these platforms, like the one I showed you guys, the root data platform, root data. We have coin market cap, we have coin gecko. You put a list of all these things. Let me even type it in chat box. Rootsdata.com, coin gecko. These are places where you can see some of these categories of projects, and then use those terms, browse it, coin market cap. So I'm sending it in the chat. You can look at the chat. I just pinned the message, right? I pinned it. So I pinned the message. Look at those things. Rootdata.com, CoinGecko. We even have DeFi Llama and all of that. So now next thing to do is pain points, like I've already mentioned. Find out what the pain points of that your ideal customer. What's their problem? What problem do they even have? There's a way you can even do just a bit of research about. You can even do research about what people are asking for. Either you find out through X search or you use Google. Let me show you the Google one now. I'm going to share my screen in a bit. Oh my god, it's still has been a busy day. Um, sorry, I'm coming. Coming. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, great. So, another thing I can help you is to find out what questions that people are searching, and you can find out through search. Through search. I think I've turned this into Bright. One of the first classes I have with Bright. So let's say, for example, let's look at trends. Sorry. Trends.google.com. I know you can also use answerthepublic.com. Answer the public. But I'll show you the books. So now this is trends. So this is Nigeria. You can change locations, right? So you can get content that will reach those people. You can change locations. So Nigeria. So what are we looking for now? Keyword. So now you have to find out what are the keywords common to that's your potential employer. Like I said, you have to identify which category you want to fit into. There are different categories. So I'm going to do you guys assignments. Do a research. Find out the at least five trending categories in crypto right now. We have RWA, that's real world assets. We have AI. We have DEF AI, that's DEF AI. We have stable coins. We have what's another one? We have the PIN, that is decentralized physical infrastructure network. So I've already given you guys 5 now. I've given you guys 5, right? But to show that you even heard what I'm saying, I need to do research to find out what are the 5 trends in the crypto space right now, or 5 trending narratives, and then you can decide to go with one, or can even go with go with blockchains. So either you're doing narratives or you're doing blockchains. You're doing narratives or blockchains. That narrative / category or blockchains. So now, under consumer crypto now, what are the pinpoints? Sorry, let's type, let's look at Web3 and see. So we're exploring Web3 in Nigeria. So as of today, there were 100 searches today. And from River State, Lagos, FCT. So look at topics that came out: money, blockchain.com, user interface, portable, NFT, see, breakout. And then we have other the rising ones, breakout, 70%. What is Web3 all about? Which means if you try to Web3 job, 70% of people are looking for this. So top, these are rising. Let's look at top topic. What are top topics? So see the top topics. What is Web3? People are actively searching for it, and wallet, cryptocurrency, money. So Web3 is has been on high in searches in these locations. So now, if one now reach a different location, this is in the past day, you can look out for past hour, past 4 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, and stuff. So another way you can even look at this, and we're going to look at another way you can look at stuff. Like if you find a topic you want to write about, try and use these tools to find out a particular question. We can use the search. Let's look at search now. So someone should give me a topic. Someone should give me a topic that you want to write tomorrow. Any of you will have a content you want to work on tomorrow. Just give me. I'm waiting for you guys. Whisper and words. Can you people hear me?
Yes, ma, I can hear you. I've just
Yes, ma, we can hear you.
Okay,
People
give
have
me a
dropped
topic.
something in the chat box.
Oh, sorry. I'm sharing my screen, so my stuff. This is minimized. Let me check. Influencer marketing, 5 basic DeFi terms. All right. DeFi. Influencer. Okay, let's start with Bola. Influencer marketing in Web3. So let's check Web3 influencer marketing. Though, when it comes to crypto things as well, your best place to get information is on Twitter, which is why I like Grok. I like Grok AI because it's integrated with Twitter, so it makes it even easier for you to find things on Twitter. It's the AI because ChatGPT might not give you exact responses because it's not, but Grok is integrated in Twitter. So if you ask Grok stuff, Grok can give you this thing. So with links, with correct links and direct links. But let's look at Web3 influencer marketing. So I want to show you guys something. Oh, there are even jobs listed here. 7 perspective of agencies and stuff. Oh, this guy. This is one of the guys I follow on X, Leon Abode. He shares some really good stuff. So now look at this now. People also ask. This is a website as well. People also ask. This is a website where you get. What are people asking? How does Web3 marketing work? What are the 4 M's of influencer marketing? So these are the kind of things you might cover. Since you have to cover in your content in order to be, to create something that is relevant. How to become a Web3 marketer. So these are like different, what are the 3 R's of Web3 marketing? So now this platform already like covered it. So imagine if your own content is covering it somewhere. What are the 4 M's? Make, manage, monitor, measure. So it's already covering it. The 4 M's of Web3 marketing. So people also ask this: how does Web3 marketing work? This would like So those things. So these are question people also ask this question in line with Web3, and all of that. So these are people also searched for this. People also search for. So now it gives you insight into what people are searching for, right? And AI mode. Let's look at AI mode. So now, what my AI mode? Your content should also, because AI user can Google recommend your content in their, because now we have what we call, it's no longer search engine optimization. It's now called generative engine optimization. That's a generative AI optimization. Your content has to be optimized for AI as well. If someone is looking for something, will your content come up as a solution by AI? Because AI always answer the question, what is, and all those what stuff. So your content must always answer a particular question. As though if this helped. Now, if you look at, let me share this tab. So now, this is another platform you can use, answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com shows you what people are searching for too as well. If you type in a word, look, it has a limited amount of searches you can use a day on a free, I think three queries a day. 3 queries a day. Oh, that's serious. They're giving discount. Ends in 3 days. So now they give you what people are searching for. They've added Instagram. Wow. Amazon. Wow. YouTube. Wow. TikTok. Interesting being. Wow, interesting. So you have 3 daily searches. You have access to every day. People also ask, is what's now available here? Wow, this is growing. This is owned by Neil Patel. Neil Patel is one of the oldest marketing guys in the world. Like well, not by age. I mean, he has been here like for the longest. So if you want to create content for any of this platform, depending on your audience, right? Like me now, my audience on Twitter is dominantly Nigeria. Do I have audience from other parts of the world? Like I saw today, that I have audience from over 10 places in the world, but majority is from Nigeria. So you can also think about, okay, that if you're using premium, that's when you can see that. So let's look at influencer marketing, Web3 influencer marketing. Okay, we'll continue this class tomorrow, very soon. So we're searching. So use this. I'm gonna drop this website now in the chat box. So they can always phrase whatever it is you're writing to answer questions. So you can also find out using search on X as well. It's called social listening. Social listening, just do social listening on X to find out if people have a question around what you want to write. So you're not just writing for your sake. Another thing you can also do, like I've mentioned earlier in I think one of our classes, is to check those job boards and find out what employers are looking for and shape them in form of questions. I said it in the last class, in last week's class. I shape the form of questions and answer them with your content on X. That's another way to get, to use content. So I think I'll work on this thing long enough. Already have questions because I need to jump off this call in the next 5 minutes. So now, after when you identify the pain points, which you can find from looking at job boards, what they're looking for in a potential staff, or like all of these things, you re-engineer your content to answer those questions. Then show proof of success. Try and do practical, like practice. I can always tell my previous students, practice with the project. You can practice with ValueCorp, you can practice with a friend's project, you can practice with even your own account. See your account as a project and practice that same thing. What you're trying to like get results and say you did this in 30 days and so look at the results and show. So you can use your account as a project, as if you assume that your account, you yourself now, you are a company now and you want to apply strategies on yourself or your account as a project, or you can find a project and do, or you can come up with a dummy project. That is the project doesn't exist, right? But that one is tricky, though. That one is tricky. Trying to like make it work on that, or you can reach out to a project and tell them that you found these gaps and you have some strategies you want to try. They should give you 7 days, 2 weeks to try it. If you like it, then you can negotiate on coming on board the team. You can try that as well. So let me just give a time. Tomorrow we'll continue for the rest of the strategies on how to get a job. So today we covered the professional, tailor your content, I didn't mention optimizing your X profile. Always optimize your X profile. Your content should always show what you are doing, your bio, everything should communicate. You should not be saying that you're a marketing person or you're a writer or you are a project manager and when they come to your account, they cannot say anything related to what you say you want to the job you're looking for. That's totally unprofessional. Um, your portfolio should be accessible, apply intentionally, measurable results, do your research. I showed you guys a few tools you can use apps outside Twitter that can help you to be able to create intentional content. And then in interviews, be curious, ask questions, content strategy, identify your zone of genius, your ideal employer, identify their pain points, what the problems they're looking to solve, reverse engineer your content strategy. If you find those points, then you convert those points to content you can create to solve them. Yeah, show your proof of success, and then always position yourself as a solution. You are the person that can solve this problem. Always position yourself as that one person who can solve the problem, which is why, talking from a personal point of view, personalized, personalized content is better. Like always work better. Like for example, I was reading, yesterday I tried something, or I was reading this and I realized, or I was exploring this, or I was doing those things are always better because it's just showing you're not sounding like a you've never tried this thing before. You're sounding like you did this, you know, like you sound like you're the one, like you're involved in the middle of it. You don't sound like one what's the word now? But I hope you guys can get what I mean. Personalize your content. So from tomorrow we'll start with code DMs, how to send code DMs, what does it look like, how to craft a professional DM, how to follow up smartly, tips of success, networking and referrals, how to do all of these things from tomorrow. So if you have any question, please ask me. I have 1 more minute and I'm out of here because I need to get to something else right now. Any question? So remember your assignment. 5 trending topics in the Web3 space today. Topics, narratives, blockchain, or anything. 5. And choose your best, the one you like the most. So, any feedback about today's class?
Sorry, ma, I think I have a question.
I don't have time to answer
Good
that
evening,
question.
ma.
I don't have time to answer the question right now. But shoot.
About the assignment, are we supposed to tailor it to our industry, like what we are doing? Like when we do the search, are we supposed to tailor it to what we are doing, or we should just, because it's trending, we should just write on it as it is?
Every see, whether you are choosing RWA, we are doing AI. For example, project management is needed there. So it's not really about what you're doing. How will I put it now? Whether you're doing consumer crypto, in consumer crypto, writing is needed. And you're just choosing an area that you want to focus on so that you can build network, build your reference, build your everything around that area. Just try to choose a community, a type of this. It's not even about you said industry. I don't think industry is the word. It's not even about your skill now. Your skill is applicable across whatever category, whether it's AI, whether it's Def AI, whether it's the pin, whether it's stable coins, any of the trends. The fact I said trending topics, trend does not mean that. How do I put this now? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. I'm almost out of time here.
I don't really get it, but I think I will just come to your DM.
Okay. I will explain again tomorrow. But just give it a shot. Type it in search. Google it first of all. Just check, try it first, and then get back to me.
Okay, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Good night, everybody.